Thank you. May we be seated. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2026 Sadc Sustainable Energy Week, which has the theme of driving regional economic growth through clean energy and energy efficiency, which is being held here at this majestic Victoria Falls and the Elephant Hills Resort. A warm welcome to everyone. I would like to recognize our guest of honor, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, represented here by his Vice President, the Honorable Vice President, Dr. Constantino Gouveia Dominic Nyikazino Chivenga. I recognize you, sir. I would also like to recognize our Executive Secretary of Sadc, His Excellency Elias Mahosi. I would also like to recognize our Honorable Minister of Energy and Power Development, Honorable July Moyo, who is also the co-host with the Sadc Secretariat. I would also like to recognize the Minister of Electricity and Energy, South Africa, Honorable Dr. K. Ramakopa, the Ministers of Energy in our regional countries. I would like to also special welcome to the next host, which is represented by the Minister of Minerals and Natural Resources and Energy from the Republic, from Eswatini, the Kingdom of Eswatini, the Honorable Minister of Energy and Hydrocarbons of Madagascar, and all other honorable ministers here present. I would also like to recognize the heads of delegations, the heads of missions who are representing the rest of the ministers of Sadc, Tanzania, Mauritius, Seychelles, Mozambique, and Malawi, and Zambia. We would also like to recognize our esteemed partners who are represented here, the Africa Development Bank, by the VP of the bank, and also the World Bank. I would like to then recognize our ministers here in Zimbabwe. We have various honorable ministers who are here, who have been participating with us. I would like to recognize the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs and Community, Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises, Honorable Mtswangwa, and also the Honorable Minister of Climate, Environment, and Wildlife, Honorable E. Moyo. I would also like to recognize our Honorable Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Honorable Shava, and all other honorable ministers here present. I would like to recognize our Deputy Minister of Energy and Power Development, Honorable Yegukai Simbane Gavi, and also all the other honorable deputy ministers here present from the different ministries, who are representing the ministries of Mines and Mining Development, Ministry of Information, Ministry of Industry. I would like to recognize the Mayor of Victoria Falls, the Chief Mvutu Nkosikasi Silabaziso Mlojwa. I would like to recognize our United Nations team, UNIDO and UNDP. I would like to recognize our honorable members of parliament who are coming from the different, especially those who are coming from the Portfolio Committee on Energy. We have also special representative from the party, who is the Secretary for Energy and Mines, who is here. I would like to recognize him, and also the other Secretary from the Honorable Mangwana, and also Secretary Rugejo. I would also like to recognize the Director for the SACRE, who is Kudakashen Lugula, And I would also like to recognize the various permanent secretaries who are here, some accompanying their ministers. And I've skipped our chief secretary, represented here by our deputy chief secretary, responsible for project coordination, Engineer Marava. I would like to recognize all chief directors and senior government officials who are here present. We also have boards and chief executives of our parastatals, captains of industry, especially our private sector colleagues who have participated with us here, not just as simple participation, but as sponsors and also exhibitors. We would like to also recognize all our partners who have come in their different ways to be here with us, the heads of civil society organizations, heads of associations in the energy sector, members of the media fraternity, and our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't recognize our guest minister because he is the next one who I will be calling to welcome us to this Elephant Hills Resort. Honorable Minister Richard Moyo, we recognize you and we give you the floor to welcome us to Victoria Falls.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, here able represented by Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable General Retired Dr. CGDN Chiwenga. Guest of honor, sir, allow me to write on the already established protocol. It is a great honor and privilege to welcome you all to the Sadc Sustainable Energy Week here in the beauty city of Victoria Falls and Matabeleland North Province. Your Excellency, sir, as a represented, we are all deeply honored by your presence. Your leadership and commitment to sustainable development continue to inspire our province. We sincerely thank you for gracing this important occasion as our guest of honor. Distinguished guests, this year's theme, driving regional economic growth through clean energy and energy efficiency, speaks directly to our shared aspirations as a province and nation under the visionary leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, Matabeleland North is home to the mighty Zambezi River and the majestic Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. We hope that as you deliberate on the future of energy in our region, you will also experience the beauty, hospitality, and warmth of our province. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Victoria Falls, welcome to Matabeleland North Province. We are honored to have you with us, wishing you a memorable stay and encourage you all to be ambassadors of the beauty of pristine environment of Victoria Falls and the province in general. I thank you. Twalumba Tawoka Kasakas.
Twalumba. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister Richard Moyo, for welcoming us. I would like to take this opportunity to call upon the hosts, our co-hosts, together with the government of Zimbabwe, His Excellency, the Sadc Executive Secretary, to come and make his remarks.
Thank you very much, our Director of Proceedings. I was initially told I should go that side, so I follow instructions very, very clearly, and I didn't want to be in trouble. But General Retired Honorable Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, the Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, representing His Excellency Dr. Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, the President of this great republic. Honorable Mr. July Moyo, Minister of Energy and Power Development of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and our host and partner with me and his ministry, the Sadc Secretariat. Honorable Dr. Hosien Suramokopa, Minister of Electricity and Energy of the Republic of South Africa and interim chairperson of the Committee of Ministers responsible for energy. Honorable Richard Moyo, who just welcomed us, the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution in Matabeleland North. Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers in our midst, Dr. Kevin Kiruki, the Vice President of African Development Bank, representatives of the World Bank Group, my brother, the Sadc Executive Director, Kudakwaje Ntukula, our international cooperating partners who are in our midst, distinguished sponsors who've made this possible for the 2026 Sustainable Energy Week, ambassadors and high commissioners accredited to the Republic, and all invited guests and delegates, members of the media, a very good morning to you all. Good morning. Allow me to extend my sincere appreciation to the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe for hosting this event through the Ministry of Energy and Power Development in collaboration with Sadc Secretariat and the Sadc Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, SACRE for short. As we gather today, we are reminded that energy is not just about kilowatts, hours, joules, or infrastructure such as transmission lines and substations. At its core, energy is about people, it's about families, it's about communities, it's about business, and the survival of nations. It challenges our beliefs and norms while inspiring hope, progress, and the fulfillment of our national and regional aspirations. Through our shared commitment as SADC, we will continue to pursue universal access, energy security, deeper regional integration, and the industrialization and development our region deserves. We are honored by the presence of the Honorable Vice President Chiwenga at this year's edition of the Sadc Sustainable Energy Week, held under this theme, and I quote, driving regional economic growth through clean energy and energy efficiency, end of quote. Your attendance, Honorable Vice President, elevates the significance of this event and sends a strong message across the region that energy security is not an abstract policy ambition, but a lifeline for development, one that touches every household, every school, every clinic, and every economic activity. I also wish to acknowledge and appreciate the participation of ministers from the SADC member states responsible for energy. The willingness of honorable ministers to engage in this important dialogue demonstrates our collective commitment to addressing shared energy challenges and finding sustainable solutions together. I also wish to extend gratitude to our sponsors, the private sector and regional partners whose support has been instrumental in organizing this event. We could not have done this without you, and for that we say thank you very much. Honorable Vice President, the Sadc Sustainable Energy Week was established as an annual event by the Joint Committee of Ministers responsible for energy and water in May of 2024 in Angola. The Republic of Botswana hosted the inaugural edition in 2025, starting us on a path towards collective engagement, building trust among member states, and assuring the private sector and other partners of a crucial seat at the table, not being talked about. We wish to thank Botswana for this bold step to initiate the process for the Sustainable Energy Week. We are grateful that the second edition of 2026 is convened here in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. The country has showed leadership in taking the baton forward and facilitating collaboratively with the SADC Secretariat and SACRE to deliver a successful, sustainable energy week. I'm also informed that the Kingdom of Eswatini is considering hosting the 2027 edition of the Energy Sustainable Week, and I'm confident that it will build on the gains from the last two and chart a progressive path for the region. Building on the 18 actionable items identified during the 2025 Sadc Energy or Sustainable Energy Week, this year's program includes high-level presentations, panel discussions, business-to-business engagements, and networking sessions. Discussions will focus on policy frameworks, including national energy strategies and compacts, as well as investment, financing, grid integration, renewable energy, energy efficiency, and a just transition. This aligns with the theme of the 45th Sadc Summit of Heads of State and Government held in Madagascar, themed, and I quote, advancing industrialization, agricultural transformation, and energy transition for a resilient Sadc. In coordinating implementation of the 18 actionable outcomes, the Secretariat wished to report, Honorable Vice President, the following progress in summary. 1, Member States are developing and implementing national energy compacts to deliver 7 key outcomes, including expanded energy access, stronger political commitment, accelerated off-grid solutions, and advancement of the Dar es Salaam Declaration under Mission 300 that was launched by President Hassan. The Secretariat continues to leverage funding mechanisms for priority regional projects and is working with the Southern African Power Pool, SAPP, to operationalize the regional transmission infrastructure financing facility to address critical financing gaps. In collaboration with the SAP and SACRE, the SAP Generation and Transmission Master Plan is under review to ensure integrated planning that incorporates renewable energy and natural gas within a diversified regional mix. Fourth and lastly, a draft framework on joint energy transition for the Sadc region has been developed and is pending submission to the relevant Sadc structures. We commend the United Republic of Tanzania for championing clean cooking initiatives across our region. Honorable Vice President, energy security and universal access remain fundamental enablers of regional integration, industrialization, and sustainable energy growth, economic growth. The region's total installed generation capacity currently stands at 83,000 megawatts, including the 1.5 megawatts from our oceanic member states of Comoros, Madagascar, Mauritius, and the Seychelles. While progress is clearly evident, we must continue to scale up investment, deepen regional cooperation, and accelerate implementation to ensure that no member state is left behind in our collective journey towards a resilient and energy-secure Sadc. The above notwithstanding, our region continues to face power shortages due to inadequate infrastructure, such as limited transmission capacity and the intensifying effects of climate change. The installed capacity in the region is still dominated by coal-fired plants, mainly in Botswana, South Africa, and here in Zimbabwe. Currently, coal accounts for about half of our electricity generation, 59% of the region, while hydropower contributes almost a quarter, 24%. Encouragingly, the share of lower carbon sources, including solar, wind, natural gas, has increased significantly from a paltry 3% to now 12% in the past decade, reflecting steady progress in diversifying the regional energy mix. In this context, the region must continue exploring a broad range of technologies to strengthen energy security and sustainability. These include clean coal technologies to improve efficiency and reduce emissions from existing assets, as well as clear energy as a potential, or nuclear energy as a potential baseload option, where feasible and in line with international safety standards. At the same time, we must intensify energy efficiency measures across all sectors, recognizing that the most affordable and sustainable energy is the energy we save. The climate-related droughts of 2024-25, which lowered river levels and reduced hydropower output, exposed our region's vulnerability, as we cannot predict the frequency or the impact of such events. Diversifying our energy mix is therefore an imperative. This includes gas-to-power options, cleaner coal technologies, and the peaceful use of nuclear energy. Emerging solutions such as green hydrogen and virtual power plants supported by commercial and residential rooftop solar. These innovations require robust regulatory frameworks to ensure safety, technological compliance, environmental protection, and investor confidence through cost-reflective tariffs and effective net metering. At the same time, promoting energy efficiency across all sectors will lower demand, reduce service costs, and help defer major capital investments. Honorable Vice President, energy access is the Sadc region's shows progress alongside persistent gaps. While Mauritius and Seychelles have achieved universal access, the region's weighted average stands at 56%, ahead of the EAC, which stands at 39%, and ECOWAS at 53%. Continental progress is also advancing. 30 of the 55 African states have completed national energy compacts. Within SADC, this number has risen from 4 in January last year to 11 now of our 16 member states, which is 69% as of this January. This milestone, achieved within 1 year of the inaugural SADC Sustainable Energy Week, demonstrates political commitment to advancing energy access, security, and sustainability across the region. While these steps demonstrate strong political will, they must be complemented by investments, which is why we've got investors and funders in the room, in power generation, transmission distribution, mini-grids, and cross-border electrification initiatives, such as those between Zambia and Malawi, between Botswana and Zambia, as well as between Lesotho and South Africa. We must continue intensifying efforts to expand electricity access through innovative financing mechanisms, rural electrification agencies, and diversified technological approaches, including grid extension, smart grids, and off-grid solutions tailored to rural and disadvantaged communities, such as microgrids, mini-grids, and standalone solar systems. I am pleased to report strong progress on regional interconnector projects. The Malawi-Mozambique interconnector is nearing completion and is tentatively scheduled for commissioning by June this year. The Tanzania-Zambia interconnector has secured World Bank financing on the Zambian side and is expected to be completed by 2028. Together, these projects will connect 2 of the remaining mainland member states to the SAP grid, easing congestion and strengthening regional electricity trade. Efforts to link Angola to the SAP network through Namibia are also advancing and have reached the financial structuring stage. The Secretariat is engaging oceanic member states to consider joining the SAP as well, enabling them to benefit from the regional capacity building, technical cooperation, and peer learning. They are also encouraged to submit priority projects to the Southern SADC Project Preparation Development Facility, or PPDF. I'm also pleased to report that all SADC member states have now established national energy regulators, with the Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Comoros the most recent. Honorable Vice President, energy infrastructure requires significant financing. We call on member states and partners to support priority projects under the SADC RIDMP short-term action plan, which identifies an energy financing gap of about $18 billion to operationalize the SADC regional fund to mobilize resources for regional initiatives. And as I conclude, transmission for submission to address the structural challenges, including low access energy poverty, reliance on coal and hydropower, and limited efficiency. The Secretariat, with UNECA, is developing a framework on just energy transition for submission to ministers. We are also reviewing the regional power generation and transmission master plan and undertaking midterm reviews of our instruments. We will continue working closely with SACRE here and urge member states to ratify the intergovernmental memorandum of agreement establishing the SACRE itself to enable it to fully execute its mandate. As I conclude, the 2026 Sustainable Energy Week provides a platform for dialogue that must translate into tangible results. By measuring progress and holding ourselves accountable, we can ensure that our collective efforts deliver lasting improvements in energy access and security across our region. I thank you for attention. Merci beaucoup. Muito obrigado. Asante sana. Tatenda siyabonga. Kialeboch.
Kialeboch. Thank you, Executive Secretary for SADC, for that very comprehensive report on the progress which SADC has made, the different countries in terms of where we are regarding energy access, energy security, and also the different forms of energy which we use as this region. So I would like to take this opportunity to call upon our entertainers to give us some interlude of music. Thank you. Over to you. I guess it's now up to me to finish with the dancing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for that lovely musical interlude. This is the Mokomba Band. It's one of our now internationally recognized groups. Thank you so much. Because of time, we will not allow you to continue, but it was wonderful. Thank you. Another round of applause for the band. I would like to take this opportunity to proceed with the program by calling upon our Honorable Minister of Energy and Power Development, Honorable J.G. Moyo, to come and make his remarks and introduce the guest of honor. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. The Executive Director of our organization, Sadc, the Interim Chairman of the Committee of Ministers of Energy and Water, the Minister from South Africa, Honorable Ramakgopa, the Minister of State for Matabele and North, Comrade Richard Moyo. It's a Moyo affair. The Executive Secretary of the Executive Director of SACRI, Kudakwashe Ndukula, and our Deputy Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Engineer Marawa. I want to salute all the ministers from the region, the deputy ministers from the region, our ministers from Zimbabwe, and the deputy ministers from Zimbabwe. And let me also salute the members of the ruling party, one who is responsible for the economy of this country, the General Rugeje, and another one who is responsible for minerals and energy, Advocate Paul Mangwana. They are among us. And if I started the long list that our Director of Ceremonies has given us, I'll take the time that is needed for our guest of honor to deliver to you. Honorable Vice President, you see the silence that is in this room, the discipline that is in this room, is accompanied by a very intense and honest discussion that has been taking place in the last 3 days. And I want these members to salute themselves by honoring themselves by clapping for what they've been doing. If the region that has been described by the Executive Secretary has anything to look forward to, this will lead the region in the right direction as we engage in sustainable energy for our region. Our guest of honor has been sent by our President, Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. They've been together for 47 years. And you must start guessing whether the age is consistent with 47 years. He joined the armed struggle when he was very young. So the 47 years included serving in the liberation struggle and serving in this country's government. So 47 years is not what his age says. The Honorable Vice President comes to us because he supervises on behalf of the government of Zimbabwe and on behalf of the President all economic ministries. All these economic ministries, whether it's finance, is environment, is women and gender, medium and small enterprises, tourism, all the economic ministries are integrated in their delivery of service, in their delivery of the NDS2, which is our blueprint for going to Vision 2030, is in these hands. So, join me. I thought my sister was going to join the band because last night, Honorable Vice President, we were given drums to play. And I think, not because I was next to her, but I think she beat all of us in drumming. So when I saw that band playing, I signaled to her to say, can you join? And of course, she did not join, but we salute the artistry excellence that these ministers showed last night. I bring you the Honorable Vice President, Dr. C.G.D.N. Chiwenga, General retired, but he attained the full generalship while he was serving.
Pray, be seated. Yeah, I hope my voice will be audible. I'm a bit under weather, but I hope you hear the few words that I'm going to say. Dr. Gloria Magombo, Permanent Secretary for Energy and Power Development, who is our Director of Ceremonies. Your Excellency, Sadc Executive Secretary, Elias Mangosi, the convener and host of this very important conference. Our host minister, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Matebele North Province, Honorable Richard Moyo. Minister of Energy and Power Development, and also co-host of this conference, Honorable July Moyo. The Minister of Energy, South Africa, Dr. Ramakova. Sadc ministers responsible for energy and other ministers here present. Deputy ministers here present. Secretary for Mines and Mining Development in the ruling party, ZANU-PF, Advocate Mnyaradzi Paul Mangwana. Honorable members of Parliament, Vice President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Kevin Kariuku, ambassadors and heads of country delegations, Mayor of the City of Victoria Falls, His Worship, Councillor Prince Moyo, traditional leaders, captains of industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. It is my profound honor and privilege to officially open the 2026 edition of the Southern African Development Community Sustainable Energy Week on behalf of the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. I welcome you to the majestic city of Victoria Falls, a symbol of natural power and shared heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, the global system is undergoing structural transformation. Capital flows are shifting and supply chains are being reconfigured. Strategic and critical minerals are redefining the global geopolitics as we enter the fourth industrial revolution. Southern Africa must not be a spectator to this transition. We must shape it. I am gratified that this platform convenes policymakers, energy experts, academia, financiers, industry leaders, and key stakeholders from across our region and beyond. This high-level convergence clearly signals one thing, that the region is ready to move from dialogue to delivery. Zimbabwe deeply values the initiatives led by the Southern African Development Community in promoting sustainable energy development, regional collaboration, capacity building, and knowledge sharing. I also take this opportunity to commend the Southern African Development Community Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency for its continued leadership in fostering regional cooperation and innovation. These efforts are vital in addressing the complex challenges facing our regional energy sector, which is an enabler in economic growth. It is also through these collaborative platforms that we can unlock investment opportunities, facilitate transfer of critical skills, and drive transformative change for Africa to rise to the occasion of industrialization to benefit our economies and communities. Therefore, we cannot remain behind whilst our God-given resources develop other already industrialized nations. The theme, driving regional economic growth through clean energy and energy efficiency, speaks directly to our growth imperative. It is critically so as the world undergoes a profound energy transition driven by climate commitments and net zero targets and technological advancements. We too must adapt and innovate. Globally, we are witnessing a significant shift toward clean energy solutions and an enhanced energy efficiency. Renewable technologies have achieved cost parity and in many cases cost superiority over conventional generation. The cost of solar PV technologies has declined over 80% in the past decade, and wind turbine costs have fallen substantially. This transition is also creating millions of green jobs worldwide, and Africa is emerging as a key beneficiary. By 2030, Africa's green economy is projected to generate over 3.3 million new direct and indirect jobs, particularly in solar energy, spanning manufacturing, installation, operations, maintenance, and innovation. Zimbabwe has already benefited from this green wave, creating numerous jobs in renewable energy and related industries. This demonstrates our commitment to sustainable growth and inclusive economic development. Continentally, it is disheartening that despite Africa being endowed with nearly 60% of the world's best renewable energy resources, including solar, wind, hydro, biomass, and fossil fuels, it has only harnessed a small fraction of this potential. Our continent continues to face challenges of power deficits. There is a huge investment gap in the energy sector, which continues to hamper our ability to fully utilize our resources for inclusive growth. As developed nations have moved along carbon-intensive pathways, Africa seeks support to leapfrog directly to clean, modern, and sustainable energy systems, in line with our commitments under the Paris Agreement. We must embrace all energy sources boldly and unite in our efforts to position Africa as a global leader in sustainable energy development. However, the question before us is whether Africa will remain an extraction zone, a raw material supplier, or become a value-adding industrial hub in the clean energy value chain. In that regard, allow me to highlight the recent signing of Memorandum of Understanding to promote the peaceful application of nuclear science and technology to advance Africa's socio-economic development by the African Union, the African Commission on Nuclear Energy, and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development Nuclear Energy Agency. This presents a strategic opportunity for Southern Africa to build regulatory competence, human capital, value chains, and regional collaboration frameworks to leverage peaceful nuclear technologies responsibly and strategically in support of Africa's energy transition and industrialization agenda. At the regional level, the Southern Africa Development Community, with over 340 million people and a combined GDP exceeding US $720 billion, remains energy constrained. Power deficits, aging infrastructure, transmission bottlenecks, fragmented regulatory regimes, and infrastructure finance gap estimated at US $83 billion per year continue to limit growth. The region's strategic initiatives, such as the Renewable Energy Strategy and Action Plan, the Energy Efficiency Strategy, and the Southern African Power Pool, are crucial in addressing these challenges. These frameworks must now transition from strategy documents to implementation pipelines in increasing renewable energy share, reduce energy intensity, facilitate cross-border electricity trade, and improve system resilience. Zimbabwe's energy landscape reflects both challenges and opportunities. Currently, our electricity access rate stands at approximately 62%, with rural slightly above 20%. We recognize the need to increase our access rate. Therefore, under National Development Strategy 2 and our Energy Compact, as we pursue universal access by 2030, we are liberalizing generation to attract independent power producers, enabling direct power purchase agreements, expanding private sector participation in transmission and distribution, accelerating rural electrification, targeting universal coverage of schools and clinics, and mobilizing domestic capital through structured engagement with local financial institutions. Furthermore, our abundant resources of significant coal deposits, massive water bodies, and untapped solar and wind energy offer immense opportunities. Projects like Zimbabwe's waste-to-energy initiatives in Harare exemplify innovative solutions for developing clean cities, reducing hazards, and generating power. Decentralized renewable systems, including mini-grids, are crucial for rural transformation and economic empowerment. In addition, we are advancing strategic regional cooperation in hydro projects such as Patoka Gorge, Devo, and Mpata Gorge. Further, we fully support the ongoing Mupandagua in Mozambique and the Inga Dam project in the Democratic Republic of Congo in strengthening cross-border interconnections. Distinguished guests, let me call all of us to action. To the investment bankers and financiers, the region presents scalable projects, predictable demand, and policy reform momentum. Therefore, your role in mobilizing capital is crucial. Your expertise can help us harness resources for renewable energy initiatives that will power our economies while preserving our planet for future generations. To the policymakers, regulatory certainty, policy harmonization, and efficient permitting frameworks will unlock capital at scale. The path to sustainable energy requires robust frameworks and supportive registration. Let us all commit to creating an enabling environment that incentivizes clean energy investment, encourages research and development, and strengthens cross-border collaborations. To the academia and energy experts, your insights and technological advancements are key drivers for transformation. We call upon you to lead by example in adopting and implementing best practices in energy efficiency. Share your knowledge, invest in local talent, and collaborate with governments, the private sector, and communities to create sustainable solutions that address our unique regional challenges. As I conclude, let me emphasize that we stand at a crucial moment. Southern Africa possesses the resources. We possess the market and the strategic geography. What is required now is execution, discipline, and investment acceleration. If we act decisively, Southern Africa can transition from energy deficit to energy surplus, from commodity exporter to industrial hub, from climate vulnerability to climate resilience. Clean energy is no longer a future aspiration. It is an immediate economic strategy. Let this Sustainable Energy Week move beyond dialogue to implementation, beyond aspiration to execution, beyond policy intent to measurable impact. The time to act is now. Let us accelerate change. Let us embrace clean energy and take definitive steps towards a sustainable future. I therefore declare the Sustainable Energy Week officially open. I thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for our Honorable Vice President and Guest of Honor. Thank you, Guest of Honor, for that clear instruction and call to action that we have to be intentional in what we do. We cannot keep doing the same things and hoping for a different outcome. I think the call action was to all of us who are here today, our partners, our private sector, our financiers, us as policymakers and institutions of government, industry players, academia, that we need to move forward. The vision is to move from a deficit to excess. We need to go to universal access. And we have the resources, so we have no excuse. So the call to action has been very clear, so let's give another round of applause to accept that call of action. Thank you so much. I would like to call on Executive Director Ndlukula and the team to come with the gift for our guest of honor. Is the team here? Okay. It's coming. And after we have handed over our gift and token of appreciation to our guest of honor, we will then also call on Eswatini, together with the ES and the minister, to then hand over the hosting event to the next host, a co-host in a way. So for now, we'll start with the gift. Thank you. Is the end over of the what? Thank you. That's the gift which has been given to our honorable guest of honor. Thank you so much. That's the appreciation for. I would like to call upon the Honorable Minister, the Honorable His Excellency Mahosi, and Kuda, and His Excellency the Prince from Eswatini, to come and hand over the next hosting documents to the co-host Eswatini. Please come through. They are handing over the concept, the documents, in terms of what it needs to be done as we now prepare for the next Sustainable Energy Week for 2027, which will be hosted by the Kingdom of Eswatini. And that's the Permanent Secretary receiving the documents. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Chuanga, Honorable Excellency Moyo, the Minister responsible, Honorable Ramakopa, Dr. Ramakopa, our Chairman, Honorable Ministers, all protocol observed. It is an honor and pleasure to attend the Sadc Sustainable Energy Week following its inaugural session in the Republic of Botswana. This is my first time attending this conference, and over the past 2 days, we have gained valuable insights from the various presentations and discussions. Topics such as energy efficiency for sustainable livelihoods in Africa, empowering women and youth in the energy transition, powering communities through productive use of energy, renewable energy for industrialization, infrastructure financing, and private sector investments, collaboration with Sadc Center for Energy Efficiency, SACRI, and partners with academia, all have provided a valuable perspective on advancing sustainable energy in our region. Honorable President, Vice President, without energy, life would be extra hard, and life expectancy would be much harder. These meetings have clearly demonstrated that we need to continue to collaborate collectively and as countries to power the regional economic growth through clean energy and energy efficiency and the creation of employment and development. We started in Botswana, and now we're in the beautiful land of Zimbabwe. I'm in love with this country. I thank the Honorable Mr. Moyo, Honorable Moyo, for the warm welcome he has given us since we came here. He has made our stay very comfortable and very much rewarding. We're taking good memories with us back to our homes. And if I'm speaking for all of us, let's clap for that. Honorable President, Vice President, I'm here in command of His Majesty and the government of Eswatini to invite you, in particular, ministers here and everyone here, to continue the discussions in the Kingdom of Eswatini next year. There's a lot to see in Eswatini. We are very much known for our traditions and customs. You can check us on the media, social media, you will see. But amongst others, you'll see our development in energy, and that we are above 75% in terms of access to electricity in the country. Thanks to Dr. Ramakopa for sharing us his energy in South Africa. We're getting it from there. In Eswatini, you will see the biggest rock in the world. Honorable President, I will invite you to climb it with me. It's very challenging. We have visitors from all over the world just come to climb that mountain, that rock. I have a video, Your Excellency, that will show a glimpse of Eswatini. Unfortunately, they gave me the one I did not ask, but you will see a glimpse of Eswatini. I don't know if it's ready, but before that, I have A small gift for the President here from Eswatini to ensure he's coming to Eswatini next year. Please. You know about it. Oh. Buyisa phela Nkosi. It is with my protocol, President.
There are some other tokens which were going to be given to the rest of
This
the
what
podium.
I'm talking about was for the President, Madam.
Okay.
Maybe I will hand it over after this one.
Okay.
Honorable Vice President, honorable ministers, you are all invited in Eswatini next year at about this time. Dates will be communicated. We're working with Sadc and Sadc, and we're assisted by Mr. Moyo, Honorable Mr. Moyo, to coordinate everything in order. I thank you.
As part of the appreciation and also invitation, there are some small gifts for the rest of the people on the podium, which will be handed over on behalf of His Royal, the Prince Dlamini. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Okay. We're short of. Okay, understand the other one had been given. Okay. Thank you. That's the gift from Eswatini, and also inviting our guest of honor to Eswatini. Thank you so much. We will play the rest of the video later. We are short on time. This morning there are other pressing commitments. I would like to take this opportunity to call the current Honorable Minister and Chair of the Ministers of Energy in the Sadc region, Dr. K. Ramahoba, to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me start by thanking the Program Director for the dexterous nature with which you handle the program like a true engineer, very precise and methodical. So thank you very much for representing the profession. Yes. And let me take the opportunity to also extend my warm and sincere appreciation at the presence of the Vice President, Dr. Chiwenga, for having taken time from his exceptionally busy schedule, and also alerting us that he's under the weather, but because he attached a lot of significance to this conversation, this platform, he never missed the opportunity to come and join us. So thank you very much, Vice President, and wish you a speedy recovery. I think the presence of the Vice President is a significant signal that the championship of and the sponsorship of this agenda to transition is led from the top. Also the declaration of the G20 that South Africa had the privilege to host, and we hosted it on behalf of the entire continent. We're able to foreground the importance of energy and the role and locus of Africa in shaping that agenda. And I want to say, Vice President, that we take your challenge of a call to action. I think we must transition from discussions, conversations that are elongated, inordinate, and get to a stage of implementation. So the one area that is in short supply on the continent is our ability to execute. So we must perfect the art of execution. And I want to say that when we go to Eswatini, we're not just going to have a conversation. We'll have a balance sheet that measures the degree to which we have made forward movement against the commitment we have made here in Victoria Falls. I think it's a discipline that we must engender to ensure that there's momentum and there's progress. As the Vice President was saying, that we should not be spectators. We must be at the table. If you are not at the table, then you are on the menu. So it's important that we accept that we can be the principal protagonists and agents of this transition. That what they call the energy trilemma should be led from here. So the issues around security, affordability, sustainability, the epicenter or the center of gravity of that transition is here on the continent. And I want to say that, as the Deputy Vice President was saying, we are in fact reshaping that narrative. So if you listen very carefully to the speech by the Vice President, it's not just the trilemma, it's a quadrilemma. We're adding a fourth anchor, that of socio-economic development. So energy is not neutral, it's not outcomes neutral. We are agitating and orchestrating an agenda for Africa to assume its rightful place in the community of nations and lift with it our people from abject poverty. We can't be sitting with such immense renewable energy endowments, and yet we are economic poor. So it's important that we must be agitators and authors and orchestrators of that agenda. And in this regard, I really want to say thank you to the co-host, my brother Ndade Mohosi, the Executive Director of Sadc, and also my friend and brother, Minister Moyo, for putting together what I refer to as an apt theme. So you can see in the theme, they are making a statement that there's a nexus between economic development and the exploitation of our renewable energy. So it's important that we have that appreciation. And I take it that in the discussions that we're having, we're beginning to see how best that nexus can eventuate, how it can materialize for the benefit of our people. That we must ameliorate our people from conditions of energy poverty by exploiting this endowment. And key to that is the financing. And I really want to say thank you very much for our finance, the financing fraternity to be in the house. The AFDB, a champion of the African agenda. Thank you very much, Doc, for being part of this. And I know that there's a deep liquidity that sits with the private sector, the agenda of the new leadership of the AFDB, to really invest on the continent. And energy is just but one of the many areas that they've identified. So it's important that we're able to put together projects that are viable. So there has to be an investment upstream of the project value chain. The issues around pre-feasibility are very important, and I think that partnership with the private sector, the financing fraternity, is going to help us. And that's why they're here as non-state actors. The state can't be retrenched. The state will always be at the forefront of development, but we need to galvanize the financing community to be part of this. And of course, we'll resolve the issues of what constitute the risk. I mean, if you had to look, Vice President, studies that have been done, there's a rich body of work that suggests that the default rate on the continent is 2%, the lowest of any region in the world. And yet we are subjected to heightened cost of borrowing. So I think it's important that we fashion ways of how we can de-risk some of these projects and ensure that we don't just rely on our balance sheets, which are constrained, are not necessarily healthy to support the kind of the build program that we want to introduce. So we must design bespoke financing instruments. So thank you very much to the financing community for being here. And last but not least, the intelligentsia, academia, for being part of this conversation. I think it's important that we are able to foreground research and innovation as part of the totality of the conversation. So these non-state actors are important, And we hope that in the remainder of the days of the conference, we are going to weave all of these things together and come up with an action items that are going to ensure that we move from just the rhetoric to actually implementation that can be able to enhance the energy quadrilemma. So we thank you for being part of this, and we look forward to the outcomes, which outcomes we'll measure when we go to Eswatini. So thank you very much. May God bless you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank our Honorable Minister for doing this vote of thanks and acknowledging everyone who's here and the role we have played. In particular, also our sponsors and our institutional partners. We continue to thank you. We are coming to the end of our opening ceremony, and we would like to ask all of us to stand as we now listen to the closing national anthems and also that of Sadc and Africa.
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life. Let us all unite and sing together to uphold the bonds that frames our destiny. Let us dedicate ourselves to fight together for lasting peace and justice on earth. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa.
Thank you so much. That was our national anthem in Tonga, Ndebele, and Nambia. May we be seated? As we come to a close, I'll just make a few announcements. We will be going into a 1-hour break where we will be able to allow the honorable ministers, especially from the region, to also visit these exhibition stands. We will then come back after an hour to hear the remarks from our partners, the African Development Bank, Dr. Kevin Karaoke, the World Bank lead specialist, and we will also hear from our international partners, Austrian ambassador for the South Africa, Angola, Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Mauritius, Mozambique, Namibia, and Zimbabwe. That will be after the hour break. So let's all rise and allow our guest of honor to leave the room. We are not going to move from our seats. Let's allow him to leave the room, and then we can take the break thereafter. Let's give a bit of time. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion and the true call to action and the promise that we will have to account as given by our Honorable Minister from South Africa at the next slide. Thank you so much. The Honorable Ministers can also leave. So we will be going into a tea break, and also before the partners make their remarks, we will do the video from Eswatini, which will allow to run as soon as we come back and assemble here. We'll have the video from Eswatini being screened on the podium. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's have the break and have our tea. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion.
Can I speak?